Welcome to An Empowered Woman. This is Desiree Dubois with Let's Talk Success. Today I have the pleasure of being at beautiful Orlando, Florida at the Enterprising Women event with Carla, Percy, who is the president of the Maven Consulting Group, and Lisa Rosenthal, who's the chief executive officer of the Maven Consulting Group. Good morning, ladies. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Thanks.
Great, thanks.
Yes. Do
Fabulous
you feel empowered?
Especially being around all these powerful, amazing women. Absolutely.
Isn't it fascinating?
It is. It's so inspiring to be here.
Well, you ladies just started your business in 2008, and you reached multi-million dollar status?
Yes, we actually just closed 2014 at almost $8 million.
Yay! That's quite a feat. That's quite a feat. So tell us a little about your story. How did you get started?
Well, I've been in the defense consulting business for almost 18 years now. I've worked for the Department of Energy, the Department of Defense, the intelligence community. I've been all over the place. And I ended up with my last job at the U.S. Army at a special organization called the Rapid Equipping Force. And there I met Carla, and after I met Carla, the rest is kind of history.
My path is a little bit different but similar. I joined the Air Force. I did that for 4 years, active duty, and then I went to the Guards. I did that for a few years. I moved to the DC metro area in 2001, and I started working for the government, for Department of Defense, and did that for several years. Left the government service and went to go work at the Rapid Equipping Force, where I met Lisa, and as she said, the rest is history.
So we're making it now.
Yeah, we're making history, and
we're making history.
A little bit of money too.
Awesome.
Sadly, just a little bit.
We have goals.
We have
goals.
You have goals. So how was it working as a partnership? Have either of you had partnerships before?
No. We've never actually worked for a company on the corporate site before. So when we started Maven, we had no idea how to do accounting, no idea how to do HR, no idea how to recruit for people, no idea how to write a proposal.
We were consultants. We never actually ran like any kind of management. We weren't executives, so we really didn't know what we were doing. We sort of figured it out along the way.
But you figured it out pretty fast. So that's some of what your core offers are now for your consulting business.
Right.
There was no choice.
How did you learn?
Google and mentors.
Really?
Yeah. Mentors. Having mentors, male, female, business executives, government executives, the whole kit and caboodle have helped us out immensely along the way.
Yeah, have someone you can like pick the phone up, prior bosses or, coworkers that you knew were experts in certain fields, and just calling them up and, hey, you want to grab lunch, kind of working through some of your problems, and, Google, and long hours too.
Long hours. So did you start in an office space? You started in your home? Where'd you?
Yep. No, this is actually a really great story, and we like to laugh that no good story starts over. There we were having a salad. We were actually at a bar, and we were sitting around chatting, and I said to her, I'm like, hey, let's quit our job, start a business, go to a salary of 0. And she said, are you mad? Maybe, but I really think this is what we should do. Wrote it on a barroom napkin. She said, what the heck, I'm in. And we quit our jobs within 2 months, and we sat around the dinner table in my sunroom and created a business.
Amazing.
And we actually just got an office a year and a half ago. So we worked out of our homes, our basements for the first 6 years of our company.
And now we're about to purchase our third office.
Yeah.
Your third office, and employees, staff?
We have over 60 folks now.
60.
Yes.
60.
60. Yeah, it's a lot.
We giggle when we say it too. It's still
60.
unbelievable at times.
And so who does what in the business? What's your duties?
Most of my days are sort of the internal operations of the company, managing our employee relations and also our client relationships. So all the contracts that we have, ensuring that we're delivering the stuff that we said we're going to deliver, doing the job that we are supposed to be doing, make sure our employees are happy, healthy, etc. So I'm mostly internal, and then Lisa does all the external type activities.
Yeah, I do corporate culture and strategy. I make promises. She finds a way to actually make the promises reality.
True.
This is very true. She sometimes gets a little frustrated because I make big promises because I think we can do anything. And as it turns out, she makes sure that we can do anything.
That's amazing. The thing is that, I can see that partnerships, it makes a big difference in the escalation of a business. especially if it's the right partnership, and especially if it's important that people able to live their expertise, stay in their lane, so to speak, that you're able to do that. And the growth can be tremendous. And I think a lot of ladies are afraid of partnerships because of the horror stories that they hear as a result of it. So I'm sure it's not always easy.
Communication. One of the things I think Carla and I have actually, and our third business partner, Victor Prowski, we've all worked together for 10 years, pretty much side by side, day to day for 10 years at various jobs. And over those years, we've learned how to communicate, we've learned how to fight healthy, and we've learned how to celebrate healthy. So we do all of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to agree on everything, but you have to, talk about it, talk it over, and, come to a decision collectively. And maybe, today yours isn't chosen, your path isn't the chosen path. But as long as we all agree, ultimately, we all look at what's best for Maven. That's our end goal is, we want to make sure Maven continues and we have a strong company. And I think we're all very committed to that. So, we just work it out.
And it helps that we all three of us, have the same left and right limits. We all have the same integrity and moral parameters, which makes decision making pretty easy. We don't operate in shades of gray. It's black and white. We know what the right thing to do is, and we're really good about doing it. Yeah. Even if it costs money, what is it?
Yeah,
do the right thing, suffer the consequences.
Right. I mean, we walked away from business deals because there's some things that we're not going to do for $1, and collectively we're on the same page there.
That integrity is important.
It's very important.
And having the right integrity, the same integrity as your business partner, is essential.
Yes.
That's probably the easiest thing. So the decisions aren't as hard.
So when people are looking to partner with somebody, those are some of the things they should take in consideration: communication, the level of integrity. What else would be?
Complementary skill sets. Complementary with an E. You can't just be friends. You can't be somebody you like. It helps if it's somebody you like a lot. Yeah. I think that's made it really great. We've actually lived together when we were trying to get the business off the ground, which was crazy because we were working together and living together.
And we're both still here.
And that's even more amazing. Well, Victor's lived with us too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we all have very different skill sets. I love going to conferences and meeting people and creating relationships, and I'm not very good at execution of the work. I'm not fantastic at management, and I know this. Carla is.
Yeah, I think that's we all, and then Victor is our CFO. He manages all the money in our company, which Lisa and I couldn't do that. We could, it would not be pretty though. Yeah. So I mean, we all have a role, but then if I have to, I can go to a conference, I can speak. I don't really enjoy doing that, but I can do it. But I think we've all kind of balanced each other out very well.
It sounds like a wonderful combination. So the story, the challenges there, however, there's still challenges either with your, as a predominantly male-dominated industry. Share some challenges in that area as far as partnership, as far as just dealing with customers.
Obviously, Department of Defense is a male-dominated industry. Government is, but DoD in particular. So I think when we initially started the company, there were some moments where you walk into a meeting and you're the only female in the room, and it's intimidating. But you have to just, think. You have to think of yourself, better than yourself. Have the confidence to sit at the table with all of the other gentlemen. A lot of times you go in a meeting, there might be 2 females in there, and they're in the back seats. And it was just having the confidence to sit at the table and know that you belong there. Sometimes you question yourself, but just do it.
It's Sheryl Sandberg. It's lean in. As women, we just need to lean in. We need to do it and fake it till you make it. And we've been in a lot of meetings that are over our head. Nobody's known.
That is true. You act like you should be there, and then
and sit at the big kids table.
Yeah.
That's the secret: is sit at the big kids table, take ownership, and not be afraid of. I think the thing that we talk about the most is don't be afraid of failure. We lose contracts every day. We make mistakes every day, and failure is only when you don't try it again tomorrow a different way.
Yeah, you're going to fail. That's
we
part
lost
of
a $100 million contract a couple weeks ago, a bid that we've been working on for ages. We popped a bottle of champagne and said, all right, how do we do it next time?
Right. You have to learn from those mistakes. Move on. You can, pout for a minute or two and then open some champagne and think about what to do next. We champagne a lot at our office for the loss and for the win.
Well, that solves it all. But it's good that you take it as a lesson learned. And a lot of people take it personally. They say, oh my gosh, they question their ability, they question their business, they question everything when they don't get something. So you just realize that you immediately stack it as a okay, what do we do?
Right.
What do we do differently? And
Right.
just keep going from there. It's just like a little.
And I mean, you can't take it personally. You know, I mean, like we said, I mean, we lose bids all the time. I mean, we win them too.
We win them, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, if you took it personally, yeah, you might not get out of bed the next day. Like I can't, yeah, right? So.
And I think that's what's happened to some ladies. And I think also too, when they're solo, they're more apt to do that because there's no other partner to say, come on, drag them up and drag them up. So I think that's really a magic, you know, in having the right partnership.
Having that female, we have a lot of very amazing women in our lives that are an amazing support network for us. And we work with an executive women's book club where we spend a lot of time with 15 other female business owners in the area. And whenever we're having a rough day, it's not bad to have that meeting with them, which we do every 6 weeks, I think.
6 weeks,
Every 6 weeks. 15 of us get together and we talk about what's wrong and we inspire each other when something's bad. And having that female support network has been essential.
I think it's huge, and that's why communities like Enterprising Women or our community and Empowered Women, we've been around, and specifically for that, you know, being able to go and have that conversation with like-minded people that they understand and can offer resolutions to it. You know, it's different. You talk about your family, your friends. They can only cry with you, but they can't help you. But being able to get a solution to that and be able to get that encouragement is huge. So what other challenges have you come across?
I think one of the other challenges is, so when we started, it was just Lisa, Victor, and I, and we had a couple of employees, and then, you know, you get to 10, and most of our initial employees were all people we knew, had worked with, you know, were within our own network. But then at some point you have to go outside your network because you become big, you win lots of work, and that's a good thing, but you sort of lose control of who you're hiring. And finding talented people that, you know, are part of our corporate culture has been challenging. We've been able to mostly find people from our, you know, extended networks. You know, we use tools like LinkedIn and, you know, the executive book club that Lisa mentioned. But, you know, we have to go outside of that and, you know, hire a recruiting firm. And, you know, I think finding the right people has been very challenging for us, especially most of the people, our employees are on a client site, so we don't see them day to day. You know, we try to have activities so that they're part of our company, but on a day-to-day basis, they're sitting on the client site. So it's very important to find, you know, great people that represent your company. And I would say, you know, HR, recruiting are pretty challenging pieces to the puzzle.
But it's also critical because of the fact that they are actually representing you 100%.
Exactly.
Basically, you're going to fall from.
And when you're a small business, your reputation is so huge. I mean, we have a lot of work because of our reputation. You know, word of mouth. Like, I want more mavens, and that's such a great compliment. But then you have to find more mavens.
And so let's challenge some of your victories. Okay, what are some of what was like the point when you get your first million or your first big contract or your cash flow? I mean, when you actually paid yourselves.
Yeah, I think that's probably when we won our first Prime Award, our big Prime Award, you know, we'd been a subcontractor up until that point. That was 2 years ago.
2 years.
October was, so that was our first kind of big contract that we won as a prime. So that was sort of that moment where you're like, aha.
We can do this. We really can do this. And then we won another big one the following year. And so we've just been filling in step by step. There's been some pretty big moments in our past. Winning the awards is usually them. Hiring new corporate staff, which is very, very scary because now all of a sudden it's people coming out of your overhead, not billing them to a client site. So that was big when we brought in.
I think hitting like employee number 50 was kind of that was a big deal too. That was a big deal for us.
5-0.
Yeah, the big 5-0. Like, you know, we're like, we were like just 10 people yesterday, right? And then also we're 50. Not sure how that happened, but it happened.
It went from 18 to 55 in 18 months, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. The last 2 years of our company have really been where we've experienced our growth, and I think those were the days where you wake up and you're like, wow, we're really doing this, you know.
For real.
For real.
For real.
Yeah, it's for real.
No regrets.
Yeah, not one. No regrets.
So personally though, individually, what are some of your personal victories? Like, what did you want to be when you grew up? Or
I honestly had no idea. I was one of those kids who had no idea what they want to do. You know, I kind of goofed around after high school. I went into the military mostly because I knew that I needed some direction and guidance and discipline in my life. And I tell people all the time it probably saved my life. And then when I got out of the military, I actually was in biological research. I did biotechnology clinical trials. I thought I wanted to be a researcher. And I did that for a while, and I said, I don't want to do this.
not your personality.
No, not at all. And then, I ended up getting a job with the government, and did that for, several years, and sort of got into the government consulting world, and learned about contracting and all those things. So, I had no idea. If you told me, even, 25 years ago, this is what you'll be doing, I would have been right.
So what is the hustle being successful in this niche? How does that feel to you personally?
It's fabulous. Every day I wake up, kind of pinch myself, like, am I really doing this? There's, the rewards of working for yourself and having a successful company are,
Can't be so.
yeah, you really can't describe it. And Lisa and I kind of kid all the time is that we cannot fail because there's no way we could ever work for anybody else again, except for ourselves, So.
And then for you, again, Lisa, personally success. How's this fit into your dream?
It's fantastic, and I never thought I'd be doing exactly this, but I always knew I wanted to be a businesswoman. My thought was I'd always be a lawyer. I went to college to become a lawyer. I have my undergraduate in political science, environmental policy, and my statistics professor called me in after class, and I thought he was going to kick me out of class for not showing up enough, and instead he said, hey, I want you to come work for my company, but you have to show up on time. And so I worked for a defense consulting firm. I was working supporting the Air Force, doing congressional budget analysis, and I fell in love working for the military. And there was no interest in going to law school ever again. It was working for the military. And I spent the following 18 years supporting the soldier, the airmen, seamen, the whole group.
So this success, though, what has enabled you personally to be like, are you able to buy something or live somewhere or do something that you weren't able to do before? Like how,
I think
in your personal
travel.
story?
Yeah, we travel. Yeah,
Travel?
I think that's where probably we spend most of our free time.
Yeah, we don't spend it on fancy clothes. We don't spend it on, lots of fancy things for the houses. I think both of us are adventure seekers.
We are.
Every chance we can possibly get.
And honestly, a lot of the success that we had for our company, we put back into our company. So Lisa mentioned at the beginning, we're getting ready to buy our third office. And so we are investing in our company versus, buying a big fancy car or something like that.
But we don't have fancy cars.
Yeah, we don't
both
have, yeah.
used.
Yeah,
We
do not drive fancy cars. Really
But it's investments.
It is.
We take
Investments,
enough to
exactly.
live on.
Yeah.
We're not rich. We're not anywhere near it. We have enough to live on and kind of have the experiences we want to have. And
amazing.
that's been amazing.
That's great.
You just got back from Rome. I was in the Cayman Islands 2 months ago.
We
We're
travel
going to Spain
extensively.
next month. Yeah. So that's what we do to break. And one of the things about running a business and vacation is there's no such thing as real vacation.
Yes.
You have your computer. You're on it at 5 a.m. answering the emails, and when you're back from the day before dinner, you're back answering emails again. So.
But it's a great way to be able to come on your tips. Okay, so secrets to success. What would you have done differently, or what would you do over again every time you start, or what would you advise the women to do or make sure they implement in their goals?
I think for me, and I said this a little bit earlier, it comes down to failure. Expect to fail, expect to do things wrong, expect to make a fool out of yourself. Just do it again the next day and do it better.
And I think Lisa mentioned earlier, find mentors, people that you can trust and confide in and get advice from. Some advice that we got very early on that was great advice was, get a great law firm, get a great CPA, and build a relationship with your bank. So we did those from the very beginning, and we still have those relationships, and it's helped us out immensely. I think, build your infrastructure so it's scalable. We spent a lot of time the first couple of years, putting our company together. Mostly because we didn't know what we were doing, so we had to figure that out. Maybe what we would do next time is be a little bit more efficient, but it all worked out, so it's good. So yeah, I think relationship building is a key to success.
Thank you for that. So what empowering thought would you like to leave our listeners with today?
You go first.
That's a challenging one. I don't be afraid. Just go out and do it. And if you fail, do it again better tomorrow.
Yeah, luck is not fortuitous. It is the moment when opportunity and preparation converge. You prepare yourself for that luck. When that door opens, walk through it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I thank you for spending your time and expertise. And until we meet again, stay empowered.